happy today. I am William Brown from iamwilliambrown.com. This is Happy Today Morning Reflections. Where I answer the question, who woke up this morning? I wonder if you can answer that question with me. Who woke up this morning? Why do I ask that question? I ask that question so it gives you access to you. There have been many days where I would wake up in a certain way and I had no idea or no awareness of how I woke up, who woke up, and so I had no listening for that. So I would go on with my day. I wouldn't say in a funk, but kind of denying, the feelings that I woke up with or the concerns that I had because I was more committed to the things that I had to do. And so on this journey of self-discovery and self-awareness, I just invite you to ask the question, who woke up today? And from that answer, I believe you will gain access to yourself, and you can make some decisions that will support you. So, as I do, I picked cards, my U cards for this time together. And you can get your cards at iamwilliambrown.com/the store. But I use this time to pick these cards together. So, the I am card is I am full of joy. You are worthy. And before I formed you, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Jeremiah 1:5. I have said that for days, and I don't know why I could not remember that before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. I knew you. In the Christian scriptures, Jeremiah 1:5. Today on One Word Conversations is an exciting day for the next 3 days, actually. The next 3 days, we're going to have returning guests come on and kind of do an end of the year review. And I actually know the words and I don't know the words because I know the people that are going to be on, but I don't have their words handy. But if I kind of look at their faces, the word will come up. The word will come up. And the advertised people, they may show up and they may not. And they may not. It's going to be an hour-long show. There's about 10 or 12 people. At one time, we'll have 8 people on the screen. So that should be fun. Nice little, I guess 9 is Brady Bunch. So I'm trying to, no, yeah, because Alice, right? So 3, 3, and 3, right? So, Yeah, so we have, I think it's eight people at a time. What's kind of interesting is that who woke up today? There was a feeling of Groundhog Day, because it's like every day it feels like I guess, okay, I am going to do it. I am going to make a difference. I am going to like transform. And it's like I do the same. I do what I do, I guess. That feels like the same. Um, and it feels like I get the same results of this feeling like I didn't do enough. But you are worthy. I am embracing, or I'm asked to embrace today, that I am worthy no matter what I do or don't do. But as I've mentioned many times when I look to my worthiness, I look to my bank account. And then it's put into question. Take a deep breath there. It doesn't matter. I am also observing Kwanzaa. And this is the third day of Kwanzaa. And a thought that came to mind yesterday um, was what if Kwanzaa, Kwanzaa wasn't designed to be, as a substitute for, the Christmas holiday or something more, but like a 7 day repeat awareness of principles to have you live your life. Wonder if I could take that on. That would be interesting. So every day I observe Kwanzaa. I I did not um, look and see what word was for today, the meaning of the word today. But I will post that after I get off. There has been a lot of a growth in awareness with me for 2020. There's been a lot of the word that's coming to mind is exposure. There's a lot of things that I have done that I just wasn't doing, or that I said I was going to do. And still it feels like I'm in the same place. So I think the question is for me, am I going to take what I've learned am I going to live out the change or the transformation, or am I just going to continue? If it's just information, I was reminded of my formal schooling. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that I've learned or was taught, and it was just information to get through a test at that moment, at that period of time. And then after that, it had no connection, no bearing of my life. It's kind of interesting because I was in the choir and I was, in the theater and all that other kind of stuff. And every once in a while, I'll hear a song that we sang in choir or something like that. And I remember my part in the song. I can still hit the notes. I can still hit those because they were still familiar to me. But outside of me hearing the song again, I'm not sure what that is. So it's interesting. So there's a lot of things that I know, or that we know, that we only have access to when we are reminded that we know those things. So the question is, what do I need? What do we need to be reminded of that we know? So then we can use it. So then we can enjoy it. That is a question. I am excited about the next season. The next season of One Word Conversations starts next Thursday, maybe Wednesday. Right now, I have to reach out to one of my guests and kind of move, see if he can move to a Thursday instead of Wednesday. So I would be on Wednesday as a um, kind of, that will be the show that kind of lets people know about a lot of things that are happening for the new season. Season three. I don't know if three is my favorite number, but three is three and nine has always been numbers that I gravitate to. 3 and 9. So either I would pick number 3 or 9. It's interesting, never 6. 3 or 9. Because it would be three times, right? So I guess the number is 3. So this is going to be a special and exciting season on One Word Conversations. I cannot believe, I can believe and not believe that over 250 episodes, starting in April, over 250 episodes. So, who woke up today? Who woke up today? The first thing, the word that came to mind was cautious. And if there is a phrase with it, it's cautiously optimistic. I'm cautiously optimistic that I will do everything that today invites me to do. There's a part of me that wants to be a realist, right? That don't want to have um, like uh, lofty dreams. Good morning. Good morning. Is it Nala? I think it's Nala. Um, I think it's Doctor. But good morning. Um, so, I've mentioned throughout the year that there's a tension in my life of, honoring my present, the smallness of my life, right? That I am a small um, speck at a small period of time in this whole big universe type of thing. But at the same time, embracing the bigness of my life. That with even in the smallness, there is power. I just got the image, I was reminded of the mustard seed faith. The fascinating thing about the mustard seed is that it says in the Christian scriptures that the faith of a mustard seed can move mountains. And the question that I've had, that because I haven't moved any mountains, does that mean that I don't have that level of faith? Or maybe it is the mountain. What is mountain? Maybe I'll look at the mountain. So it's not a physical mountain, but there is something that I believe that cannot move. That if I have the faith, that it will move. Maybe it's a belief that I have, that I feel that it is a foundational belief that is not, that I can move it, that I can move from that. I'm going to sit with that. What mountain do you need to move? I'm still finding a way to sit, to sit for this time. So I want to stay in a place of comfort, so I can be open. And I don't feel the the sounds of 40. I've lost some years. The 53-year-old body. So I am full of joy are the cards that I picked. I am full of joy. You are worthy. And before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Those are the cards. Those are the cards. I don't know if I'm going to introduce on a consistent basis the other card a friend of mine got me cards that I've pulled one for today, and the card was rebirth. It was letting me know that there's a newness coming in my life if I'm willing to embrace it. It's kind of interesting because recently I've been living about the trauma of birth, right? That there is a knowing, and then there's a birthing, there's a trauma in that. Um, um, and now I pull a card of rebirth. So it's like, is there a trauma that's about to happen? then me embracing rebirth it's not fun anymore, right? It's like many times when you hear rebirth, it's like a new, a fresh, new, new year, new me, all that kind of stuff. But recognizing the trauma of that, I will talk to my friend. I'll reach out to her and ask her, a part of a rebirth that I want to embrace for today. Am I inviting trauma? Or, and in this birth, there is no trauma. Wow. Hmm. What would you like to rebirth today? It's a do-over, right? Let's do it again. Everything that I know now. I love when they ask that question. If you can go back to any time and do it over, what would it be? For me, it's back to the beginning. Back to that little kid that fear wasn't a part of his life. That when people's fears would show up, he was confused. He didn't embrace them. He was confused by them. But he was reminded over and over to not only acknowledge their fears, but to fear their fears. I think as an African American people, I think we were conditioned to fear so we can be alive, so we can stay alive. Interesting. Say in the scriptures, God hasn't given us a spirit of fear, right? Only man. So how can we acknowledge the fear that shows up, but not be consumed by it or led by it? I am full of joy. I am worthy. You are worthy. You are worthy. And before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. That's the you that we're inquiring to know. So as this day continues, it is my prayer that we acknowledge the joy that's in our heart, that we're full of. Reminded of the song, I got the joy in my heart, down in my heart. I don't know if that's the name of the song. But yeah, there's joy down in your heart. Not down in your heart, but all over your heart. Because it's full. You are full of joy. Full of joy. And maybe the joy is not just in your heart, but it's in your mind. It's in your bones. What does full of joy look like, feel like for you today? What does it look like? It's my prayer that we find, that we discover what full of joy means to us. that we recognize that you are worthy, that we are worthy beyond our bank account, beyond what we think of ourselves, right? What other people think of us. There is a worthiness. There is a worthiness. I don't want to say that we can just wear. I don't know why that came to mind. There is, how do you wear worthy, right? Does worthiness look good on you? Or is just worthy a part of you? And embrace that before all of this, before the world began, you were not only here, but you were known. Hmm. That kind of got got kind of deep there. Before all of this, we were there and we were known. Before you were in your mother's womb and before the foundations of the world, I knew you. Hmm. That means before all of this. Maybe is that a metaphor or something, right? Or is that the truth? I think for me, if that is the truth, if that is the truth, a lot of this is petty. It's it's like important petty, right? Right? Important pettiness. Oh Lord, it's important petty. How does that how does that show up? Important petty. Oh, hmm. I I am going to start recording today some of the meditations. I'm going to have to learn how to pronounce um, the person's name that I'm going to be getting the meditations from because I want to give her credit for it. But she has a tough Greek name. Greek? Yeah, yeah. Name. And so I am going to work hard to pronounce it so I don't trip over it. And it is, I will be acknowledging that. So, yeah. Um, yeah. So I'm going to start their recordings today and then I'll be sharing them within the Happy Today group. I love your feedback, on that because that is something that I want you to be able to do. So it'll be downloadable audios that you'll have. So, One Word Conversations at 11 a.m., 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. today. It's 15 minutes longer because we'll have a to 12 guests. Isn't that fun? There's a part of me that feels that is going to be crazy, but I'm so excited. There's a lot of amazing returning guests that are going to be on that I'm excited to see again. Um, so, blessings, my friend. I want you to be aware that you are full of joy, you are worthy, and before the world was formed, and you were in your mother's womb, you were known. So, go be you.